We start this afternoon with this live look at the front of Timberline Lodge up on Mount Hood. A fire last night burned part of the lodge's roof and attic, forcing staff and guests there to evacuate. The fire was contained, though, and firefighters managed to put it out rather quickly once they got on the scene. Good afternoon, I'm Drew Carney. In just the last hour, we learned that Timberline Lodge could reopen as soon as Sunday, and that ski lifts at Timberline will definitely open up tomorrow. KGW's Devin Haskins has been on the mountain since earlier this morning. Devin, I know you actually talked to some of those guests who were staying at the lodge last night.
Yeah, I did. Timberline says there's about 120 guests staying here at the lodge last night. They say the lodge was about half full. Guests I talked with say they heard the fire alarms go off last night, but didn't think much of it until they got outside and looked up. From the front side of the lodge, you can see an orange glow of flames light up the backside of Timberline Lodge. Inside, guests getting ready for bed, hoping to hit the slopes in the morning.
At first I thought, oh boy, this could be the end of the lodge.
John Rasmussen was in his third floor room last night when he heard the fire alarms go off.
Just kind of grabbed what we could and headed out like you should, and then didn't think too much of it until we got out, and then I could see like embers coming over the roof.
The fire started around 9:30 Thursday night, spreading from the roof into the attic before it was quickly contained. Clackamas Fire saying they had it under control just after 11.
This is a first one for us here at Timberline.
John Burton is the marketing director for the lodge and said things could have been worse. He said there was no fire or smoke damage done to the inside of the main part of the lodge.
Right now the suspect is some fire embers from the main fireplace in the head house.
As fire crews continue to pour water on the nearly 90-year-old building, evacuated hotel guests like Sherry Boat couldn't help but watch.
Scared, sad, really worried about the lodge because we love this place and just hope that they were able to minimize it.
In the daylight, a better look at the damage the fire did. Here on the backside of Timberline, you can see where that fire happened. There's a little bit of damage there to the roof right there. One worker telling me there's a little bit of water damage in the walls as well as on the floor, but overall the feeling is just how lucky everyone was that this wasn't worse.
It's a pretty crazy night, unexpected, but happy we're safe, and the staff did an amazing job. So
I'm hoping they'll allow us to go up and get our luggage.
All right, well, good news there. So Timberline employee telling me that if you did stay here last night, just drive up to the Timberline lot. They'll let you in. You'll go to the front desk, check in, and then someone will escort you up to your room so you can grab your stuff and leave and head back home. Back to you.
All right, Devin, we appreciate that update this afternoon from up on Mount Hood. We also have some breaking news to get to this afternoon. This breaking news comes to us from New York City, where a man reportedly set himself on fire outside of former President Donald Trump's hush money trial just after the jury was seated today. This video was shot after it happened. There was already a heavy police presence in the area because of the high-profile trial, and New York City officers were able to get to the man and put out those flames within minutes. NBC is reporting that this happened in what's called the First Amendment area, where protesters are allowed to assemble. We're still waiting, though, to get an update on that man's condition. Back to our local headlines this afternoon. Fire crews tell us 3 families are displaced after an apartment fire in Vancouver. It happened overnight, right around 2 a.m. at the Maple Ridge Apartments on Northeast 104th Avenue. 11 units responded, so a big response there, and firefighters were able to contain the fire within about 20 minutes while making sure that everyone got out of that building safely. We were told that no one was hurt. Fire officials also told us that the Red Cross is now helping those displaced families find a place to stay. The trial of a Vancouver police officer who's accused of assaulting a shoplifting suspect last May also continues today. So far, Officer Andrea Mendoza's legal team gave opening statements, and we also heard from a witness. Body cam video shows Officer Mendoza tasing the man's back, pulling his pants down, and threatening to tase his genitals. Mendoza's legal team argues that she was simply doing her job. She's been on administrative leave and has already pleaded not guilty. All right, quick break from our news headlines this afternoon to talk about today's weather. This, live look from our Rose City Skycam really tells the story. Pretty awesome outside today. So, Rod,
yeah,
a fantastic Friday forecast is tough to beat. We're hoping that things stay this way for a bit.
So your eyes are better than mine. How many clouds do you see?
0.
Oh, well, okay, we're the same then. Me, yeah, nothing, just like yesterday. Day 3 of the stretch of just gorgeous sunny weather. Changes are coming for the weekend. We still have showers expected to return during the day tomorrow. We'll get to that in my complete forecast. But here's some folks out enjoying a walk on the beach. Cannon Beach, 63. Notice the wind direction east. So again, that usually means sunshine at the coast and often also means it will be about the same temperature at the beach as the Inland Valley. We're seeing that so far today. Up at Timberline, where Devin Haskins was up there reporting for us, it is 34 degrees. During part of his report, you could hear the winds whipping, still east winds, gusting at 6,000 feet to about 30 miles per hour. You see the trees moving there a little bit. There's Mount Jefferson looking down to the south. And then out in the gorge, west winds, certainly in the Stevenson, Cascade Locks area, Bonneville area, to about 40 miles per hour at times this afternoon in terms of gusts. It's beautifully sunny. This is Elk Ridge Golf Course out in Carson on the Washington side, of course, looking back at Oregon. And there's the downtown shot. East winds out along the Columbia River have picked up, 21 sustained. Again, East County absolutely looking at winds so far to already gusting to 30 miles per hour plus. That's going to continue this afternoon. Temperatures warm, 65. Real quick, other numbers, 69 in Sherwood, 64 up in Vancouver. Salem, what you got? 65. Kaiser's at 69. I have Portland at 75. It all comes crashing down tomorrow, so to speak. That forecast for the weekend coming up.
All right, Rob, we'll check back in with you here in about 15 minutes. Our next story this afternoon is an update on a couple of Portland area daycare facilities that closed with almost zero warning to families. As KGW's Thomas Schultz explains, some former employees believe that these closures had everything to do with staff trying to unionize.
To me, it's a direct retaliation for unionizing.
Elizabeth Appleton worked at this Guidepost Montessori daycare program for 2 years.
The passion for wanting to teach students really drew me in.
When a couple weeks ago, her Tigard school and a separate Lloyd Center location suddenly closed, giving staff and families less than 24 hours notice.
I mean, it really just means instability.
The closure came just days after Tigard staff unionized and weeks after Lloyd workers did the same.
The Portland area is pretty much the only area that has ever done that.
3 other Portland locations remain open, as do schools in more than a dozen states. And Tigard workers say they unionized for safety protocols and more staff.
It takes me back to feeling powerless.
Those staff say Guidepost said closures were due to a lack of workers. And parents were told the Tigard school would close for 3 months because employees felt uncomfortable working at the location. We reached out to both schools for an interview. We never heard back. So I knocked.
No answer.
Even though former staff say a car in the parking lot is an administrator's.
It makes me feel angry.
Crystal Espy had a couple kids at Guidepost Montessori Tigard. The sudden closure forced her family to scramble.
We signed up initially to transfer to another Guidepost location, but I never heard back.
So instead, she found another daycare program.
By some miracle, we were able to find a place that would take both Miles and Melody.
Did you ever think something like this would happen?
I didn't, and it's beyond frustrating. If it was union busting, I am just disgusted.
Thomas Schultz, KGW News.